Why is setting realistic goals so important? That is a fantastic question. And I'm Dr. Jacob Santos. I'm a licensed counselor, and I want to answer that question. Now, before we get into it, I know that question doesn't seem entirely counseling related, but it is. Trust me. And here's why. You see, major change doesn't happen in a short time. It happens over a long period of time. And it also doesn't usually happen by accident, which is, I guess that statement's not entirely true. Change can happen by accident, but often that's usually unhealthy change. Healthy change often happens over time as a result of very intentional effort and setting achievable, tangible goals that you can work towards. And the reason that it's so important to make sure you're setting realistic goals is that when you set goals that are not realistic, that are often focused on kind of the big picture of where I want to get, but not really focused on what I need to do to get there, it becomes really discouraging, and most of the time people quit. This is especially relevant at the end of a year or the beginning of a new year when people are setting New Year's resolutions. Because New Year's resolutions tend to be fairly infamous for lasting through the first week or second week or even maybe the third week of January, but then kind of puttering out and being gone. And when it comes to your mental health, you deserve more than to set a goal that you're not going to achieve that's just going to fall by the wayside. And that's where counseling can come into play. Because when you go to see a counselor, you can work with someone to process through the things that are going on in your life. And that's one of the reasons that counseling is so valuable. Because when you go to work with a counselor, you can process through what's going on in your life and where you want to be, and work together with them to figure out what are the realistic, tangible goals that I want to set for myself so that I can actually achieve them. And that's huge. Because if you actually set realistic, tangible goals for yourself, then chances are good that you're actually going to achieve them. And not only that, but when you have the support of a counselor, you have somebody kind of standing by your side saying, yeah, look at this progress you've made, giving you encouragement and supporting you as you get where you're trying to go. The other thing about setting realistic goals, especially when it comes to your mental health, is that it can be really challenging to figure out what's a tangible goal when it comes to mental health. Because so much of growth that happens to us as people happens just like the growth that happens while you're getting taller when you're growing up. You don't see the change day by day, but over the course of a long period of time, when you've measured yourself here, and then you measure yourself and you're here, you see a big change. And when you're working with a counselor, it gives you an opportunity to actually interact with somebody who's not just going to be able to support you as you figure out what are your goals, but also someone who will be able to encourage you along the way and say, I see you growing. Do you see you growing? And you can have really great, encouraging conversations there. And that is why setting realistic goals is so important. Because when you set a realistic goal, there's a very good chance that you'll actually be able to achieve it. And it won't just kind of die and disappear. But instead, you'll get there and be able to set another goal and continue moving forward, which is awesome. I want that for you. And I would love to hear, what are some of the goals that you've set in the past that you've achieved? And what are some of the goals that you want to set in the future? And if you want to leave those in the comment section down below, that would be awesome. And also, if you'd like to, I would love it if you would give this video a like if you enjoyed it. But other than that, it's time to end. So until next time, bye.